All right, welcome everybody. You just heard some wonderful music from back in the day from Mr. Bootsy Collins. You got here early, you heard I'd Rather Be With You, and you just heard Bootzilla. And he has a lot more coming for you coming up. And also we have a beautiful artist, a singer with him, is in here tonight, Myra Washington, who's also a DJ. So the DJ is going to have fun talking to her. And of course, we have the manager of one of the most famous artists, not just in the United States, but the entire world. Superstar legend, Bootsy Collins. So who's going to speak first, Myra or Patty? I don't hear anybody. Hopefully you hear me.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Certainly can.
Hi. Thank you so much for inviting me and Myra on this beautiful live stream. Look at all of these beautiful people. Wow, you didn't share with all this with me, Kermit. I didn't know it was going to be like a stage like this. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, myself and Queen Karen, like I said, we're really into, this type of thing as far as women helping women. That's what this call is basically about. As people know, that was on here earlier. A few people on here earlier. We did a private call with Boosie that I've shared. It's on YouTube right now, and I will play it again at the end of this show here. And but yeah, myself and Queen Karen, like I said, we're very deep into women helping women. My thing is, I grew up a mama's boy, so that and I have mostly female friends and all kind of stuff. And then, like I said, Queen Karen and I have done rooms on, and also some of her other friends. Like we've done stuff with human trafficking, sex trafficking, and also one of her mentees is on here that did women's rights in prison. So we deal with a lot of people as far as that
Yes.
situation.
Yes, sir.
Um, so with that being said, could you tell us a little bit about the organization as far as women helping women so these women understand why it was important to be here tonight?
Of course. Thank you so much. So, the Bootsy Collins Foundation, we're a 501(c)(3) that started in 2010. And we've done a lot of different things, but recently we started something called Funk Not Fight. And Funk Not Fight calms the violence with the power of music and dance. So we've taken that on the road and we've been to our last big city was Compton, California, helping to calm the violence. So Bootsy wrote a new album, and it's called Album of the Year #1 Funketeer. And on this album, he wrote a song called Anybody Out There. And Myra Washington, who is the featured artist on the song, I'll let her speak about her lyrics in a little bit, but I knew deep down inside that that song with the title and the whole situation reminded me and Bootsy of what happened to me in a previous relationship. So Bootsy has always wanted me to tell my story, but I just wasn't ready, just wasn't ready. But I kept listening to Anybody Out There over and over and over again. It's like my favorite song on the album. So, I went into my private meditation and prayer and I said, okay, Lord, it's time, isn't it? And I got the message of, yes, it's time to share your story so that you can help another woman that is experiencing abuse. So I said to Bootsy, I said, could you take your voice off the song? Because I just want to hear Myra's voice. And I want women to just hear Myra's voice so they can hear this message of us reaching them with this song. So he was kind enough to do that. So then, fast forward, I have a partner here in Cincinnati where we do other things for the foundation. Her name is Michelle. And she said, Patty, I know someone that you should meet. And I said, well, who's that? And she said, Miss Christine, who's the CEO of Women Helping Women. And I said, okay. So I did a little research and I found out that they truly do help women that are abused and don't know where to go and need diapers for the baby or milk or just clothing support like that. So we connected, we had brunch together, and she said, Patty, I would love to partner with you and you be the spokesperson for Women Helping Women in October for National Domestic Violence Month. And I was like, wow, okay. Um, so I took it back to Bootsy and he's like, why wouldn't you? So here we are today. I'm working diligently on a campaign with them to launch October 1st with the song and with their mission, along with my podcast, which is called Is Anybody Out There? Women Helping Women identify to me that that's one of the first questions a woman will ask. Is there anybody out there for me? Does anybody know what I'm going through? So the podcast is all about letting women know. For the first time, I'm on a national or international basis, I'm going to tell my story of abuse. And that's going to be filming tomorrow, actually, coming out October 1st on the platform. Um, and as I talk about it, I thought I was going to be nervous and all this and that, but I truly believe I've been healed. And now is my moment that I can just talk, not shedding tears, not being fretful, but I'm ready to share my story because I grew up as a country girl. Parents were wonderful. Mom and dad, it was like Mayberry RFD. I went to college. I got a little wild, right? And I met the fellow that is the father of my daughter, Summer, who Bootsy has adopted and brought into the fold. But so I went from college to welfare to being at the bottom of the barrel. If I had not have left it, our daughter was 2, um, we might both not be here. It was that severe. So I say all that to say, I want women to know I went from 0 to where I am today. I was a former Cincinnati Bengal cheerleader. I ended up being a dancer for Bootsy in a good way on stage with in front of millions of people. Now I'm his manager. I'm his wife. So I have got to let women know that whatever you're going through, gone through, it's okay. Let's learn from it, but let's not be stuck and let's go. There's life is just so amazing, but you have to really dig in deep and pull yourself up out of that hole and walk the walk and also talk the talk. I mean what I say. Women are so important. We are the backbone of our men. And if we don't knit ourselves back together and come full strength, things can just not be so right. So that's me in a nutshell. And I'm so happy to have everyone here tonight. I thank Miss Jackie Shaw again for introducing me to Kermit. And ever since we've met, he's been on fire for us. And I'm just very grateful. And I know we can't do this by ourselves. This is going to take a village, just like Miss Clinton said years ago. So I feel like I'm with my village right now tonight. So that's me.
I'm glad to
Thank
hear all
you.
of that. One thing I want to know is that, I mean, I'm in direct contact with you, but I guess if someone, and also on the video from earlier, and also on the drops that were done, they're all on YouTube. On the YouTube, that's on the same link tree. You'll see a YouTube thing where you can actually watch this call right now live on YouTube. But the thing I want to let everybody know is that if you go to any of those YouTubes that's involving Patty or Myra or Bootsy, in the link there's a phone number that not to call, but you can text and stuff. Matter of fact, I had a guy earlier tell me, "Hey man, let Boosie know. Find out how much you're charged to do lovely Asheville in October in Asheville, North Carolina." A lot of people are excited about performances and the music itself too. We have DJs on here that's excited about the music. So we can't wait for this October 1st. We definitely gonna start the 30-second and 1 minute versions you sent me so far, and then later, we'll go on the full thing. And I'm on here with a lot of DJs and radio stations right now, actually, You know, well, let me just call them right quick. What we got on here? Well, we got a female comedian on here. Must make them laugh. Uh, and of course, we got
Ooh.
yourself and Myra. We have Queen Karen G, who I mentioned earlier that she and I have done a lot of stuff in that area. Um, then we have Evelina Hernandez, who's she's doing a lot of stuff and she's happy to be here. She was real busy earlier, but she changed her day to be here tonight. We have Felicia DH64, who is a rapper and Southern soul singer from South Carolina, Greenville. We have Make Your Hot with a lot of the artists on here. Make Your Hot is a management company, publishing company, and recording studio in Chicago, Illinois. And some of the artists that's on here, where one of the producers is WOK, W-O-K, that you see on here. Baby J, 3ABY Baby J is a award-winning singer from there. And Larizi is from Lagos, Nigeria. He's on here. We got Young KF, a producer and an artist on here from there. Um, and just, a lot of people in that area. We got Paul Funky Skunk, who's a funk artist
I love that.
from Indianapolis, Indiana. He goes all the way back as well for a lot of people. Um, we got his nephew on here, DJ Punch, who's like my right hand man on everything I do. He makes the flyers and help me promote the calls and stuff when he's not sleeping or working. Then we got other people here. We got Darrell P, co-founder Make Your Hot in Chicago. We got Flipper Jones is on the A&R squad. A lot of other people on here. Carlos, his partner. Model Kiana Smith, who lives in Charlotte, that I've been knowing for a long time. We got Sincere Ray, the PPE, that's worked with a lot of famous magazines and different things. We got Willpower Gamble, who does the Throwdown Thursdays on the link tree. And I'm just scrolling back and forth, missing a lot of people, but I don't think I missed anybody. But last but not least, we got Grammy Award winning singer, songwriter, producer, Michael J. Calhoun on here, the co-founder legendary group, The Day. Oh, yeah, I see Dizzy. Co-founder legendary group, The Daz Band, that you may remember the song they had back in the day, Let It Whip was a big hit, but he's also had solo hits recently and even before that. And also, he's made history by charting 6 different genres of music in the last 6 years. And last but not least, we have DJ Dizzy D, who's the co-founder of the Nerve DJs. And he'll, when he unmutes, he'll tell you quickly about himself and what he does, because he's involved with a lot of marketing, radio stations, stuff like that. And also some of the guys I mentioned, like Punch and Will Gamble, they're part of the Fleet DJs that have almost 100 radio stations just between their organization of DJs. We work with all the organizations. So we're going to get you out here and get you going. I just want you to know some of the people that's on here, and for the people that's watching on YouTube right now or watching later. Also, we got Angela White from House of Dreams. That's Queen Karen's mentee that does a thing about women's rights from prison. So that's, definitely wanted to get them in here. Queen Karen, are you available?
Yeah, I'm on with bells on, and I got my old shirt on too. I was trying to show you earlier. I used to print shirts, and I printed this shirt, got Bootsy's picture and everything on it.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Wow.
And somebody you didn't
Amazing.
mention yet, Kermit, was Queen Affy. And I want you to know, Patty, that she is the go-to person for domestic violence. She got all the certificates and degrees, but she also got the following of men and women talking about domestic violence and things like you've never heard before. So I'm glad that she took time to come on here so she can be able to introduce herself later on.
Wow. Thank you so much for letting me know that. I can't wait to hear her speak, and I hope one day meet everyone on this Zoom right now. It's amazing. And I salute the DJs too, because, Bootsy tells me a lot about how you all have kept him alive with the music. And Kermit has been sharing with me, just what you all do. And we all know it's difficult right now with music, but if you have DJs that you can just touch down with and share the music, because the music is real with these artists, like Bootsy, it's a blessing. So I salute you all, and I'm so thankful to be here with you tonight.
Queen Karen, you can take lead, and also you can talk with her about the she can talk about the domestic violence and the prison thing right now, right quickly.
Well,
Thank you.
I have two of my besties on here, in their game. Angela White with sentencing reform and incarceration and things like that. And then Queen Affy, as I said, with domestic violence that goes everywhere. But, people are forgetting about people fighting for their life inside and outside, not just in prison, but outside as well with COVID. And then, the administration has changed so that we have to stand together like we are now to get something done. I'm media and
Yeah.
communications, news, links, and resources all day long, but it doesn't matter if you put it in places that are not going to be used. Here, you can see from, as I say, north, south, east, and west of you, everybody's the baddest they can be in their lane on this call. And they're the ones that can get the word out. And, Patty, I understand when you're ready to tell your story. I do something called truth sharing. And that's when you tell your story, but you have to do it when you're ready because your heart's so broken that you won't do it. I think in the beginning, you'll leave so much out that you'll regret it. So when you wait and you tell it at the right time, and there's so many people on here, your call to
Amen.
action is what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And so,
Yes.
when you started out, you decided you wanted to tell your story. Tell us about how you started out and where you started. What city did you start in?
Well, that's my point. This is it. I mean, it's getting ready to happen now. October 1st is when my story will come out. So I'm going to be filming my podcast for the first time tomorrow. And on my podcast, for the first time, I will tell my story. And that's when it will be released October 1st on an international level on the Bootsy Collins Network. So I am, this is it. This is the moment right now, Queen.
So having it on this network because it is universal. These issues are global. The heartbreaking things are global. Will it be in different languages or the subtitles for other countries to be able to listen to it as well?
I don't have that set up yet, but that is a very good point. So not yet, but I do have women, like I've got a lady who reached out to me from Yugoslavia, and she's actually on one of the songs that's on the album. And she said that she told me her story, and she's so thankful that I listened to it. So I know that women want to speak, they want to reach, they want to touch, they want to connect, but they're looking for a source to do that.
Mhm.
So I'm a servant, and I ask God every day to use me and take this flesh, let it go away, and let my spirit come forth. And I believe that's what's happening.
And also, I have Tori Jones on with Power, Power 904 Radio. That's doing a lot of things in that, allowing me to do a lot of things in that area. The men have been. I don't want to leave them out because they get abused as well, but it's telling the story and doing it in the right places in the right time. So you're starting now, which I think is a good time because the holidays people get often so depressed and hung into things. If they could talk about it, it would relieve the misery a little. I believe
I
that,
agree. I agree. Yes.
And,
Yes.
if it's okay, Kermit, I'd like for Angela Antoine to unmic a minute and give just a tidbit of her story. Angela, are you available?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm here.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Patty. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. And you tonight, how are you?
I am well. I am well.
Good.
First, I want to say thank you, Kermit, for even considering me to come on tonight. Like they said, my name is Angela White. I am the founder of House of Dreams Reentry Services, where we cater to individuals transitioning out of jail and prison. and we do a lot of prison reform, dealing with different issues that's going on inside of the jails and prisons as well. But I would love to hear more of your story myself, because I am a DV victim myself, and and I know the challenges that may come with that. I deal with a lot of women in the work that I'm doing now that are suffering from those things that cause them to go down a spiral, whether it's with addiction or um, just mentally. So that's the field that I'm in as well. So um, it takes courage, and I'm definitely grateful that you have that courage to begin to talk about those things and to share. Because because the story is not meant for us to hold on to, it's for us to share, for somebody else to get through. So I'm definitely grateful that you are taking that time to do so.
Thank you, Angela. And thank you for the work that you do. It's so valuable, so needed. So thank you. Thank you.
And while we have time, everybody can put their information in the chat so they can we can network and collaborate. Because as I say, everywhere I go, I'm not going to be nowhere that you can't network and collaborate. And this is where we build relationships, because Kermit is the one that helps build those relationships. No matter what, he doesn't give up on that. And networking and collaborating is my thing. Queen Affy, are you available?
While you're waiting on her, I want to quickly shout out. I want to quickly shout out Tori from Power 904 in Florida, and Duval, Florida, Duval County. But I want to shout out because not only she's an amazing lady, she also, she appreciates a lot of the stuff that I've done for her, just like Queen Karen and the others. And she also made up a award for me and mailed it to me. I'm so proud of it. I don't even know if I got a chance to. I was so excited about it. I don't even know if I got a chance to even thank her and tell her how much it means so much to me, even though I have gotten over 200 gold and platinum records and all this other stuff. But the award that she gave me really means a lot because it came from her and from my heart and her appreciation for what I do to help her and other women. But
yay.
Thank you. So sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Kermit. Thank you, Queen Karen. Thank you, Miss Lady. I wanted to say that the encouragement and the inspiration for these calls and these important calls that really tell stories and get people thinking and get people ready to fight for that topic or that subject that's going on. I think it's so important that we do these things, because our generation coming up, it's about pop, it's about stuff that doesn't make sense down the line. We got to keep these things going to make sure they listen, they hear these things, they see them, so the more and more we talk about these things, the more and more we have these types of calls, it's better, because somebody's going to hear it, somebody's going to see it. And that's why I love being media. You know what I'm saying? I love being media because I put it on the shelf for you guys. What y'all bring, I put it on the shelf, and I love to sell it. I love to get it out there. I love to make sure that people are aware of what's happening and what's going on, from history down to the serious talks about what you guys are talking about tonight. So I appreciate this call. Thank you, Kermit. Thank you, Queen Karen. I love y'all. Thank y'all.
We love you too. That goes without saying. Thank you so much for all you do, especially to help me. And you see, my background is serving up controversy with Mom at Power 904. And I'm doing some great things and some very different things there. And so now I want to do my plea de resistance. That's Queen Affy. Introduce yourself. I think that Patty would be really delighted to meet you.
Peace and love, peace and love. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me a moment to chime in. Queen, I love you over there, girl. Your sister love you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Miss Patty, let me say to you, a survivor of domestic violence, honey. Let me say something to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, put that story out there. We need the people to know that domestic violence is serious.
Yes.
We need to know that everybody at that dinner table is affected when it comes to domestic. Everybody. Whether you are an elder, a male child, a female child, a woman, a man, everybody gets affected by domestic violence. And
Yes.
talk about. That's what I put out there in the community about how all of us are affected, and we all can learn, new strategies and new ways to communicate, new ways to appreciate, and still have our boundaries in place. Telling the stories is just an amazing piece that I do as well with the community, because the stories help us heal too.
Yes.
And to feel like, victims all the time, often we feel alone, we feel like it's just happening to us, so to hear survivors step forward and share their story, it's amazing. And Miss Patty, you're going to save so many people with them hearing the story that you're about to drop.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
I
believe
that story on this type of level to get out to people on this platform, because what goes on behind closed doors is very serious.
very serious. Lord have mercy.
And
Yes.
feel alone, and to feel like, I'm not worthy, it's my fault. We don't want you to feel like that. And that's why the stories are important. So I go around and talk to everybody at the church. I talk to the people on media. I talk to the people at the school, my young people at the school system. I'm talking to them all because it affects everybody at that dinner table. And along my journey of having this conversation, my daughter was shot in the head by her at 19 years old. He shot my daughter in the head. Why? And I had already been doing the work, Miss Patty. I've already done the work and was already sharing my story. And my baby got murdered while holding her 2-month-old daughter in her arms.
My
And
Lord.
that's that peace, that we want to break for mothers and daughters and grandmamas
Yes.
who have been, down generations of domestic violence. And
Yes.
I have not shut up ever since my daughter was murdered. I have been still talking about, let's get the dinner table healed around this subject, domestic violence. That is still very taboo, still very hard to have, but somebody's got to do it. And so
Somebody does.
Patty, I've been doing it.
Yes.
And my daughter gone, and I'm still doing it. I'm still talking about it. I'm still saying we got to get better when it comes to domestic violence. So thank you for letting me share. I appreciate everything you're doing. I'm gonna put all my information in the chat. Anybody want to reach out, I'd be glad to come out and share and educate, because that's what I like to do, educate on domestic violence and share my story with people, that are hurting. Because I'm a resilient story. It couldn't shut me up.
Yes.
Queen Affy was telling her story before, telling story and protecting people about domestic violence before her daughter was murdered. I believe you warned your daughter, didn't you?
I did. I had to. I told her, I said, if your boyfriend carries a gun, he'll use it on you. And she told me, I got this, Mom, I got this. But at the end of the day, the victim makes that decision. As hard as it is, at the end of the day, the victim is going to say, I'm going back.
That's right.
That education out there for my daughter. And she knew, put me on assignment. Miss Patty told me that I had to get out and talk about this subject and tell her friends about it, tell other people about it. I was doing the work. She was there with me while I was doing the work. And has transitioned from the same thing that God has called me to speak on, and I'm still speaking on it. I'm still speaking on it.
Don't you stop, honey. Don't you stop. Thank you, Lord.
A time, Miss Patty, to talk about it, it is when my daughter was murdered. That showed me the conversation is so needed. So
thank you so much for sharing that, Queen Affy, and the name, and tell them the name of your organization as you put your stuff in.
Domestic violence wears many tags. Domestic violence wears many tags. And we educate on verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, and physical abuse. We talk about all 5 of those tags being the strongholds of domestic violence. And of course, we know domestic violence starts off verbal. In most cases, it starts off verbal. So we like to start there with educating on the many tags of domestic violence.
Many tags. I like that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Queen Affy, for coming on, because it was last minute and I thought about you earlier and I got busy.
Wow.
But I called in just Patty in just 5 minutes and she was on, because she knows I love and I'm going to do what I can, you know. But this is someone that I think is just phenomenal, because she never stops and she reaches all tags, as they say. So Queen Affy, don't forget to put your information in the chat, please.
I most certainly will. Thank you so much for letting me share.
You know, Patty,
thank you so much.
Doing the work that you do and not using who you are, you know, is a strength. Because, you know, people later on find out maybe, well, they'll know who you are. You know, I do. You know, when I saw Peppermint Patty, I knew, you know, I'm just saying, but a lot of people don't. And when they find that what you're doing and you had the courage to I want to say step out, not really on your own, but step out independently of this thing, this phenomenal bad thing, I want to say, that you know, people normally keep quiet and they say nothing about. Men are on this call that know about abuse, not being the doer, but the victim as well. You know, and like Queen Affy says, it starts with talking, with the words, the threats, the, you know, the little innuendos of maybe if or why or because, you know. So this is a great thing. And women helping women, this is where it starts, because you get to their core to be able to, you know, to be able to get to them, to the goodness that they are. And it's not a white and black thing. It's, like I said before, universal.
It is. It's universal. Yes, ma'am.
So let us know who else have you are you going to have on your tour, or you already know the people that you're going to start your tour with? I know you said 2 of the women that you let tell their story. Are there any others?
Well, what's going to happen here in Cincinnati on October 1st, I'll have my podcast launch. As I said, the first podcast show will be me telling my story. And then I have Women Helping Women coming on. She'll tell her story and why she started and how we're working together. And then I have some musicians coming on. I do have a friend who will be right by my side. She will help answer the phones and all these different things. And then October 27th is when we will have a party, and it's going to be called the Night of Enlightenment. And we will stream it all around the world on the Bootsy Collins Network. And it will be where women come together. It's going to be, again, my friend's home. She will host us, and we will talk about domestic violence and how we are making a difference with Women Helping Women. And that night is also a fundraiser where women can make donations to help our cause. And then after October, though, that's when I am wanting to take it broader, reaching out to like the YWCA and other organizations that are helping women who have been abused, like women that are on this call right now. I would love to work with you. My goal is to go on the road and to go into cities and actually speak to women at different luncheons and whatever, clubs, activities, concerts, whoever will listen to Peppermint Patty about her story to make a difference. That's what I'm hoping to do in 2026, 27 and beyond.
Thank you so much for that. There are hands raised, but we're going to do ladies first. And I'm going to do Moosh. You can come on and unmute and ask your question or make your comment or contribute any way you like. Did I say it right? Moosh. I know who you
Mush,
are.
whatever
Hello?
you Mush.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
Mush, make them
I'm here.
laugh. Make
Can
them
y'all
laugh.
hear me?
Make us laugh, Mush. Mush, make them laugh.
Hey, y'all.
Hi,
Hey,
Mush.
y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing
Great.
I'm glad to hear that. First being, Patty, I salute you and, you know, sending a lot of love to you. It's women now that's, you know,
still getting abused at the big age, they're in. Maybe, like I know women that's like 60, 70 plus, things that, they're afraid to talk about, because they feel like they'll be judged or, like have no support. I've never personally been through, like physical abuse, but I've been through like verbal abuse, and I've had friends that's, been through physical abuse. And it puts you in a really dark place. And sometimes you don't even know who yourself is. Sometimes it questions yourself on, do I love myself or do they love me? So I sending a lot of love and to you, and I'm glad that you overcame that, and that you're talking about it. And then Queen, I do want to send love to you and say sorry for your loss. That must be I can't imagine. I can't imagine after you didn't warn your daughter, and then it actually happened. How painful that to be. But definitely sending love to you ladies and whoever else who have experienced it. I would definitely like to sit down with both of you, and whoever else has a story to tell. I would like to sit down and maybe interview y'all. So just to bring awareness to the rest of the world, because there's a lot of ladies who still scared to come out and talk about those things. But I give, my biggest heart, my biggest salute to you ladies, and I'm so happy and proud of you, and, sending, you more success with everything you got going on.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate that much. Thank you. And your smile, I see your face, you're making me smile. So whatever you're
you see my
doing,
face?
I see your
Okay,
face.
okay.
Well, I see your
My
picture,
picture. Okay,
right?
okay.
So
Great.
I see it. I see it with a big smile. So I love it.
Thank you so much.
That just goes to show that her smile is contagious.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Hey, ladies, also talking about abuse and different things. I had a niece, my brother's daughter was murdered in Atlanta while she was pregnant as well. So that was very heartening situation. So I definitely understand what Queen was talking about her daughter. Just the fact of that happened to my niece. Matter of fact, I didn't even go down to investigate it, because if I went down there, I probably wouldn't be here today. So yeah, go ahead, Queen Karen.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I'm going to move on to Tori, Power 904 Radio. Had her hand up.
Yes, I also have a friend that loves to speak on, inspiring ladies and domestic things. People, just need to talk. I'm going to introduce her. Name is Drika Jackson.
Go ahead.
Blessings to everyone. I first kind of want to just thank you for sharing the story, right? Sharing your testimony, and allowing us to be able to have this conversation. One of the things that for me personally that I have kind of find it hard to move past is the removing the shame part, because I know a lot of women, when they go through certain things, they may tell themselves or feel as if, it was my fault, if I would have did this, or I should have did this, or even once they've got out, not wanting to open and share about what that experience was. And so coming from a mental health um, thought process or aspect, any way that I can help, if I can share my story, if I can be of support, I would love to help contribute and get the word and speak on that. For me, my personal experience was through business, in a spiritual realm. So I met an individual, and with spiritual counseling, mentorship. And when there was, I guess it was, what do the people say, like rejection? The individual felt like there was rejection. I was not interested. And he came to my business, my place of business, while I was in the building with a gun. And I'm typically always by myself. I just am an isolated person, so I'm always by myself. I did not think, that this would happen. 2 days prior, I think it was a Thursday, it was Valentine's Day. He invited me over for dinner. We're opening the Bible, we're reading scriptures, and that's when the rejection happened. He was like, "Hey, you can stay here." No, I don't think I'm going to stay here. And he made an attempt to rape me. I had been raped before, and so I had promised myself that I would never just allow that to happen. I would never be silent. Like, next time it was going to be me, and whatever, prayerfully it wouldn't happen again. But I promised myself if that ever happened, I would fight, for myself and my body. And so that's what I did. And I left outside. I called the police. We waited for the police to come, and I advised everything that happened, everything that was said. But because I was at that person's location, it was after hours, after 11 p.m., they considered it to be a domestic dispute. And it was my word against his word. Even with me sharing that, there were guns in the house, that he said that he would kill me. If he couldn't have me, nobody else would. We went downtown. I shared my story, shared his story. They took us back to the same place that the attempt happened. That was Thursday, and Saturday afternoon at noon, he came in with the gun. And by the grace of God, there was actually somebody else that was with me, and it was a city official. So I was able to kind of run out the back door while he kind of, like calmed the situation down, or held him there. But it's always been in my heart to be a voice, right? And I feel like because God allowed me to make it through, have the story to tell, if just one life is changed through that story. Just one life is changed through that story. Any way that I can assist, share, bring light, advocate, support, because a lot of women walk in silence and in shame. And when we do that, we're not able to operate in our power, and we hold on to things that don't even belong to us. And so this is just that reassurance of, you know what, be the voice, walk in your power. What happened, happened, but it didn't happen to you. It happened for you to be the support system for someone else.
Wow. Wow. That was amazing. I mean, the whole story is just, it blows your mind when you listen to what you went through. But what you just said at the end is beautiful. So you're sharing, you're doing it. I'm proud of you. And I'm glad to have you on this call, because it's giving me strength. It's giving me strength. So thank you.
You're welcome.
God
And thank you
bless
for
you.
the opportunity. Thank you so much. And if you need my information, I'll maybe have, Tori drop it in the chat. So if you have any conferences, if you need help fundraising or anything, I would love to align.
Thank you. Where are you located?
I am located in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Well,
Thank you so much. All right. I know it's our time. I didn't want to hold everybody up, but I wanted her to get that out. So, because that's beautiful to share. Thank you so
So
much.
beautiful. Wow.
Thank you so much for bringing that forward, Tori. Patty, it's hard to have a subject like this in, I don't want to say on a call like this without people coming in wanting to share their story. Once they, are able to share their story. Naomi G is not able to speak, but she's on here as well. And she has Blazing 420 WPAM radio that, another time we'll be able to also contribute and share her story. But I just wanted you to know that she's aware and around, and
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and then we'll
Thank
go
you.
to Queen Hernandez. I don't want to mess your first name up, so go ahead. I think I do sometimes when I call your name.
Hello, my name is Evelina Hernandez, and my nickname is Crypto Queenie. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Kermit, for inviting me. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your stories. I am a victim as well. I don't share too much, especially because I have some court cases that are still ongoing right now. But I am an advocate, and I do believe that there's strength in numbers. And I think that's why I also believe that it's important for us to align. I have spoken through chat with Tiffany Red, and she created what is called a Safe Music Pledge. That has been signed by BMI, ASCAP, and different creators, and it's made for creators as well. So I did put it in the chat so you guys can have it in case you want to share it with people. I've signed it. I always try to share it with people so they can sign it. But I've been a victim for a very, very long time, since I was very small, unfortunately. I think that in a lot of ways, it's made me empathetic to many of the causes for people for many different reasons. But I think that the strongest thing that I can think of is it's not my fault. I understand that the world is cruel, and I understand that there's certain things that you have to be more careful about, but also being part of the military, that is a huge thing in the military. And I always advocate in the military for that, right? As a matter of fact, I just had a mentee that I was helping because she had a situation, to not share too much of her story. But if she does want to, I can share her information with you later on, just because I like to be cautious, and ask for permission before I start mentioning certain things. But yes, I'm here. I'm a medical logistician, combat medic. I was in the Air Force for 11 years, active duty, and I try to find tools as well so that it can help us all. I recently just partnered with a nootropics company, and I do believe that there's certain supplements that can help you, and I feel like this has been one of the most enlightening ones that I've found so far. But thank you so much for being here with us, and I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your strength and being able to share your stories and being able to advocate for this very special need. And also, additionally, in case you guys didn't know, this administration has actually changed the law for any man who does create any negative physical impact against a female to have a felony. So although we might not believe in everything being just, I think this is one of those things that is very just,
Wow. Well, thank you, Queen Hernandez, for sharing this with us. I just pray that you continue on your journey of healing as you're going through court cases and all of that.
Thank you.
And also thank you for your service. My goodness, you're keeping us safe. You've kept us safe. So thank you. But you have a position in life. So we don't know why things happen to us, but God does. And everything happens for a reason. I know mine, it's brought me to this place that I'm supposed to really stand my ground and help others who are going through or who have gone through. So I call our daughter, her name is Summer. She's the one that was 2 when I left her father. But I left him, finally was able to leave. I looked in her eyes one day and I said, I've got to get out. I didn't want her to remember him, and I certainly didn't want to lose her or my life. So I say all that to say, Summer loves sunflowers. So as I do my podcast here and around wherever I go, I'm always going to take the sunflower with me. And my sunflower is called Summer, and I will give that to whoever my guest is because Summer, she's my saving grace. And we all have a saving grace. I'm going to speak to you directly, Queen Hernandez, right now, that find that saving grace, that whomever it is or whatever it is that you can cling to, and find it in your heart for a lot of different things. I had to forgive. I haven't forgotten, but almost in another way, and this level that I'm on right now, it's like I don't focus on it anymore. It's like it's gone, but when I tell my story, I know it's coming back, but it's not going to affect me anymore like it used to. Again, I have a saving grace. So I ask everyone, you all have it, find it. It will help you. I promise.
I believe that you mean it in all good intentions, and I appreciate and receive that. But I will also say this, I think that forgiving is for God. We don't have to necessarily forgive those who do wrong against us. We just have to let it go, as much as possible, because a lot of the times I believe that people are like, oh, forgive and forget. But once you're a victim and you've experienced that and you know what it is, you cannot forget it, you know? It's something I have, like, I'm a combat veteran. It's something that you cannot forget. So saying forgive is something that I really like, honestly, it's more about letting go than forgiving. Because you don't have to forgive somebody for what they've caused atrocities against your body. This is something that they've done. It's a mirror of their outcome, not yours. You know, my mother's always said to me, you're a beautiful rose, you just have to grow thorns, you know? And I truly do believe that. I think that the more we sharpen our tools, the more we understand our brain, the more we understand our body, our situational awareness. You know, I was a combat survivalist. That I think that, you know, those things are very important to understand, and the undertone to make sure that we are safe, make sure that we understand how to move forward in life. And that's why we have lawyers, that's why we have laws, and that's why we have advocates like yourself and myself as well, you know? Although I can't speak about every single thing, I do still believe that I'm very strong internally, and I do believe that I can manage myself very well. But I do appreciate everything that you do say to me. I just want to make sure to explain that not every single time do you have to forgive. If you can, I understand if that's who you are in your heart. But for me, specifically as a soldier, you don't have to forgive that person. That's for God, you know? But that's my piece. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Queen Karen, somebody muted you because you was talking to your granddaughter.
I'm sorry, that was her calling. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to say goodnight to my sweet potato. And I told her, I said, she'll ask who. I told her who. I said, you don't know nothing about that, but she'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, she's your boss. She's your boss. But Kiana,
Queen Karen, I'm sorry, Queen Karen, would you mind if we brought Miss Myra up? She is the artist that is on the song Anybody Out There?
Oh,
and I wanted her to just have a moment. She's a very, very special lady.
Oh, I bet she is. Of course. Come on, let her up.
Hello, you guys. How is everybody feeling?
Good.
I know she did an amazing drop. I was highly impressed, and then to find out she's a DJ. Oh my God, she's singing and DJing. Oh my God, I'm back on mute.
Yes, I love music. Miss Patty, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. I'm so proud of you for telling your story. I also have never really experienced any physical abuse, but I have many friends and many acquaintances that has. So my heart goes out to everybody on the live stream, and just whoever is watching this that has been through any kind of abuse. I know that when it's physical, it's not just physical. It goes everywhere. It's mental. It affects your family. It's all that. So the song that Miss Patty is referring to is called Anybody Out There. And I'm so honored to have been a part of the song. And I hope that it heals and sends a message of hope for anybody that's looking for some solace, some peace.
Thank you, Myra. Thank you. And she does a mean Tina Turner. She's an amazing artist. So thank you, Myra.
Thank you so much, Myra, for coming on. And if I didn't, I want to thank Queen Hernandez for coming in and sharing, because she has a very different, I want to say, view that we need to know about the military and the abuse there. You know, I've covered stories on that, and, you know, It's a whole different ball game. But I thank you so much for coming on and sharing that. And then I'm going to go to the beautiful model Kiana Smith. You on there? You available?
Hi, yes. Oh, sorry. Hi, Faye. Hello, everybody. I am such a great pleasure to be here. Please excuse me, girl. I have my camera off. I'm not I'm still not feeling quite camera ready. As I was mentioning in the comments, I am actually currently dealing with some domestic legal stuff in crazy situations that I has also pushing myself through. But I am happy to, hear you ladies' story, your queen's stories. It has definitely been helping to uplift me and regain my voice some more further. Um, and helping to give the strength to not give up. But I just want to say, like, I'm really, really glad that there are women and queens like yourself to come out and, spread the word and help give that encouragement. I always kind of look to go ahead and be of assistance as well, but I don't want to say unfortunately, but as I thought like I was over and away, I'm still dealing with it. And it's been like 16 years straight now. Then almost 17 years now, even away from the person. So yeah. But I just want to say I love to hear you guys' story, and I'm definitely looking forward to connecting. And yeah, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you as well to do what you do and to be able to continue to stand strong for the rest of us who helps need that strength. And that's it. I'm done.
Model Kendall Smith actually has someone stalking her and threatening her life on a regular basis too, by the way. So she's
and that was
dealing with
more verbal.
currently.
Her thing is more verbal.
No, it's actually more than just verbal. This has gotten it's so crazy. Like I'm literally got court tomorrow morning. It's got crazy and it's out of hand. Like it's like everything connected to me around me just being sabotaged on top as well.
So sorry to hear that, but we got your back on here. EC and
I do. I know you guys do, and that's why I'm working my way to, just the focus on what's in front of me and making my voice stronger.
Prayers for you, Sister Queen.
Thank you.
Yes, what you're going through is very difficult. The stalking thing, the been there, done all of that, and it's horrific. I just pray that it comes to an end. I mean, it comes to an end so that you can move on with your life. So praying for you. And no one can tell you when it's over. We know that. Or why did you just leave? It's like, don't ask me that question. It's not about that. This is different. But I'm just praying for you. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I think Dizzy D, are you there? Are you available? Or any of the DJs that may want to say something?
Yeah, I think he had to do something with his wife. Myra, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you is that I know you said you're honored to be a part of the project and stuff, but a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been singing, and where did you grow up at?
I'm originally from Port Arthur, Texas. My parents are pastors, so it was kind of forced on me to sing, and it's natural, just being in the church every day, should I say. And I kind of, growing up as a child, I wasn't really allowed to listen to a lot of secular music. But as I started to become rebellious, I started really gravitating towards funk music. And so for me, being able to work with Bootsy has been like a dream come true, because that was my foundation in getting to know who I am as an artist. This song that we wrote together, it has to me all of the ingredients. It's solid, it's funky, it's soulful, and it ministers. So it is just like a good gumbo, just everything came together. And I think that Miss Patty using this song in the campaign and with women helping women, I feel like it's really going to help a lot.
Now, so what age did you start singing? And what age did you start DJing?
I'm gonna
I mean, not
say
necessarily like the age, but how long, you know?
I probably started singing like at 5, maybe yeah, 4 or 5. I was threatened to sing, so it was like if you don't get on that microphone, I'm a very shy person too. So my mom was just like, if you don't get on the microphone, it's gonna be you and I in the back. So I had to get on the mic, and that's how that all kind of came into place.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned the church, but did anybody else in your family was singing as well?
Yes, so I have it's 4 of us. I have my sister that's underneath me. Her name is Brittany Washington. She has toured with Beyonce on keys for I think the beginning when Beyonce had the all girl band. She was with her for 7 years. She's also played with CeeLo. She's also played with In Vogue. She's an amazing musician. My little brother, his name is Wash. He was signed to Interscope Records. He had a single a few years ago called "Can't Trust Thoughts" with French Montana, and we just come from a musical background. There was always music playing. The secular music that we were allowed to listen to was more of the Aretha Franklins and the Luther Vandrosses, you know, the love songs. So just having that and then me loving funk music just kind of, you know, melted together. But we all come from a very musical background, and we all basically have done nothing but music to support ourselves our entire lives.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so cool.
And mentioned the church, but how was your, you know, family life? You know, your brothers, sisters, parents, all that. How was that? What was that like in Texas, in Port Arthur, Texas? Famous Port Arthur, Texas.
Port Arthur, Texas. I would say it was very safe. Very sheltered childhood. Couldn't spend the night at nobody's house. Couldn't go watch R-rated movies. Couldn't do all the things that, you know, kids would like to do. At the time, I didn't understand. I didn't like it, but my mom, she had a strong grip on us, and I appreciate her for that now. But growing up in Port Arthur, it was just you know, when you're a small town girl, you don't know there's bigger cities and more opportunities until you start getting that hunger for more, you know? So I felt very safe living there growing up as a child.
A very good friend of mine is from Port Arthur, DJ DMD that produced UGK. You familiar with him?
Oh yeah, I don't know him personally, but I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, I actually helped him get a record deal back in 1997 when he got on the Elektra Records.
25 lighters.
Album and stuff. Yeah.
Was it the 25?
Yeah, 25 lighters on my dresser. 25 lighters on my dresser. You got it. Okay, so we're on the same page with that.
Yeah,
you know, I just you know surprised to hear that. So far, I know that this song is very important to you, and it's something that's going to really go to another level because of what the song means, and it's going to hit audiences that we normally probably wouldn't even hit because of the content of the song. Mm-hmm. But other than the song, what other things have you done that's like a favorite moment for you in your life?
A favorite moment for me. I would say for the past 7 years, I do a residency in the south of Italy. And I think for me, being a little country girl going overseas and being able to sing to people that don't speak the language, and they have no other way to communicate with me but through sound, and being able to see their faces and light up and just enjoy, and that for me is a highlight. I've worked with several artists before. I've worked with Tom Brown, Keith Washington. As a DJ, I have some of my clients have included MAC Cosmetics, Kevin Hart. I've worked for D.L. Hewley. I've done a lot of things. And I just love all kind of music. So I can't really name one, but I think for me, the main thing that I really, really am passionate about is entertaining. And when I can entertain somebody that doesn't speak the language and I'm getting invited back over and over again, that makes me very happy.
Well, that is absolutely something else. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
This is all said and done, and you're like one of the biggest. Talking about Tina Turner. I think she mentioned, Patty mentioned earlier. When this was all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for, other than man, she got on stage and she just did a Tina Turner?
I think I have fun songs. I like to have fun, but I think for me, just the reach of just being able to touch someone through my voice and allowing them to have a moment of freedom, mental freedom, wherever they are at that time. I think for me, I'd like to be remembered as someone who I'm not just a singer, I'm an entertainer, but I also love to connect with people. So that's very important for me, the connection. So hopefully I'm remembered for the way I made you feel when we whatever encounter it was that we had.
What keeps you motivated?
Woo. That's a good question. I think for me, I feel like I didn't choose music. Music chose me, and I think I have no other choice. So whatever level that is on, whatever, however high I get, or whatever it is, I think I'm chosen to do this. And if I try to run, I literally tried to get a job and I lasted 2 weeks and I was like, I got to get out of here. So, yeah, literally, like my whole life, I've tried and it didn't work. So it's the way that I pay my bills, but it's just a passion. It's in my soul. I can't run from it.
I invited two of your friends to the call, DJ Spark out of California and DJ Silky D.
Hello.
Because I saw them comment on your drops. I'm like, wow, I didn't know they know each other. This will show you how all you famous female DJs know each other.
Small world, huh?
Yeah, small world. I tell people all the time, the music industry is very small. Very small. People just don't realize how small it really is. I tell them that all the time. Are there any outside of working with somebody that's amazing like Bootsy, and I mean, you can just work with him for the rest of your life, and that'd just be amazing. But are there any new artists out here that you would consider working with or would like to work with?
Oh man, I think number one on my list right now is October London. If somebody could hook that up, I would be so happy. I am. He's signed to Snoop Dogg's label, but the things that he's doing right now, to me, I know that before he was just kind of doing R&B, then he did the Marvin Gaye thing, and I don't think he was copying him, but it was just a familiar sound that kind of lit me up. Like, oh my God, here's music. This is real music happening again in our faces. And now he even does country music. I think he goes by. His country project is called goes by the name of Sam Nash, and it's some really good stuff. So I think for me, October London is high on the list. I love Bruno Mars, and I also love will.i.am, which is crazy because I know that has nothing to do with soul or funk. Well, he is, but he used to be very soulful when they started. They're more pop now, but just as a DJ, I have to know all music in order to go everywhere. So I love all music. And I think just as a creative, all these different producers and artists, just they resonate with me. You know, I love rock and roll. I love John Mayer. I love the list. Like the list is nonstop.
I want to say this too, as far as we're talking about domestic violence and all the things and women helping women, is that it's a situation where nobody, if people don't speak about it, you got to definitely talk about it, make it more visible out here. That's like Kiana, model Kiana Smith is on here, dealing with current situations right now. Got to go to court tomorrow about stuff, and it just I know it can really be, something. And one thing I wanted to ask you is that especially like you and Patty and some of the other ones on here, with the music industry or whatever, being like as a man's world until Cassie Ventura turned it around and the Me Too movement, to see all this stuff happen or whatever. Has your beauty, you or Patty, has your beauty really got in the way of you doing something to where it's like, wow, I wish I didn't look this good because I'm tired of people hitting on me or doing this or doing that? Was that ever a problem?
Miss Patty, you want to speak?
Beg your pardon?
I think a woman, for me, when you get a compliment, it's a compliment. But when you get hit on, it's a hit on, right? So you know the difference between the two. And for me, I don't know. I've just been able to balance that out. And one is more a joke, and the other one is just thank you very much. My mother, just a beautiful woman. She's 95. Her and my father live in the same house we grew up in. But she's always been that beautiful lady who carried herself in this way with a little pill hat on, and I took on that for myself. So I've never really had a problem, to be honest with you. And I'm thankful.
Another thing I want to say too is that, by me having mostly female friends, I would tell them all the time, if you're ever in an abusive relationship, do not tell your next relationship. Not that the next relationship will abuse you,
right.
But as my mother used to always tell me, when bad day comes, they'll say, now I see why he was hitting you now. It's like, that's why you got to, certain things you cannot share with other people. And I think that's one, in my opinion, you can speak on it. In my opinion, that's one of the things that you should not share, because it might come back to haunt you later when somebody get mad or whatever, because no relationship is ever perfect. So as my mother said, when bad day comes, then there you go. What you mentioned that you was in an abusive relationship, and he'll just say, even if the second person not abusive, they may say, well, now I see why the other person was hitting you. So I wanted to definitely mention that.
Yeah.
When this is all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for, Myra?
When it's all said and done, just a positive light, someone that brought positive energy to the world, and somehow, some way have helped, whether it's a fun song or whether it's a very just like this song, anybody out there, just a song to help empower. I just want to be remembered as somebody that is that can touch people, minister to people through whatever it is. And not when I say minister, it's not that it has nothing to do with church, just something that resonates with your soul.
Okay, I just put your Instagram in the chat again, so everybody can go follow you now on Instagram and check you out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me too. I appreciate you. Appreciate the platform.
Yeah, before we go to Paul the Funky Skunk, let me Evelina, you had something else to say right quick? I see you had a hand up. Evelina?
Yes, thank you for that. I just wanted to add to what I was speaking on in domestic violence in the situation. I found blockchain, specifically Bitcoin, back in 2014. And I can tell you that for me specifically, being able to be in that field helped me so much. One of the biggest things that women have issues with when they get into a domestic violence situation is leaving the situation because it's a financial issue, because they have accounts and such. And for me, I just want to explain that that's one of the primary reasons why I advocate for Bitcoin as well, because I truly believe it's one of the most secure formats to be able to have financial freedom as a person and especially as a woman. And it's also helped me evolve. I've been singing and songwriting since I was 14. And when I was in the military, I continued doing it while I was there. And it helps me in my articulate scholar side to be artistic. So I think like that's always been one of the things that I've been continuing to develop, but it's helped me because I've been in the blockchain industry to subside myself and continue on my passions and my goals, especially when there's been so much turbulence that it helps me kind of just even tone myself out with the arts. So I just wanted to share that bit with you guys as well, just so you guys were aware and you understood the tools that I have and why I have my portfolio set up the way that I do. Thank you.
Also thanks to Jackie Shaws, who set all this stuff up. I've been knowing her since 2008. She's been very helpful to me since 2008. So was that 17 years? Jackie Shaw, she's actually checking it out on YouTube. She can't be on here live, you know. So definitely shout out to her. She also texted me twice saying, don't forget to mention the Bootsy app, the Bootsy app. So yes, Bootsy Collins has an app. So go to your app store, whether it's the Android or iPhone or whatever, and check and download the Bootsy app. I've done it already, and you should too. But I want to thank everybody for getting on here. Go ahead, Paul. You're the first person to raise your hand, but we was doing women first. Paul, you still here? Or you left?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you. I'm going to call myself last but not least right now. Patty.
Yeah.
I've loved you for years. We've done things. I've done things with your husband, and you know, I was putting in the chat about that. You remember that fundraiser we did? We had Lil James Brown there, and
I do.
and
absolutely.
I would never forget that. I got to jam with you're part of them with Bootsy's guys and James Brown, and I played the horns on the keys. But one of my greatest moments that I want to share was when Razor came up to me and said, "Man, I love what you playing on that clavinet." He said, "That's exactly how I would be playing," because you know I was Bernie and Razor and Bootsy,
yes,
and all them. They raised me in this, but I just wanted to say how amazing this is that you're doing this, and congratulations. I have a friend of mine. I was trying to get them on the call, but it was kind of last minute. But they are doing a similar thing. I've been working with them for years. It's called Masterpiece Monologues. It's about women that have went through abusive times and giving their testimonies. And I'm going to send you the video link to that. But it's amazing.
Thank you.
We were on that iZod TV network together when y'all first started the Funk Not Fight thing with Steve Heflin, and I can I wanted to let you know that I've advanced since then. I have my own network still, like on the Roku thing, but I've just started doing my translations of all of my catalog over to international different languages, and working with like different versions of my music, and then also my my podcast that me and Punch are going to be doing. So I'm definitely going to call you because I want to help you anything you need help with, and I know Uwe does amazing stuff, and Bootsy's doing amazing stuff. But anywhere I can get in to fit in to help you with this, I'm so proud of you doing this. And I just had
Thank you.
Also, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Funky Skunk
Appreciate
thing is
that.
coming along, the cartoon and everything. So I'll let you see that. But we'll talk.
Please. Okay.
We'll talk. I love you. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay. Last but not least, any of my DJ co-hosts is still on here. Want to say something? DJ Punch, Manny Faces, Willpower Gamble. That all these guys is on the link tree. That we have the other shows every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central and 5 on the West Coast, and then DJ Punch every single Monday. The Mixaholic Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, and 6 on the West Coast. And he's been doing it 5 years straight without ever canceling or postponing. And also, even the ECMD call that you're on right now, we've been doing this since 2011. But this is our 14th year of not canceling or the call. And glad to be on here. And I'm so happy to have all these beautiful women on here tonight and to talk about all the women things. And hopefully, Queen Karen, everybody else can hook up and even have more discussion outside of this, maybe either with Patty on her podcast or just on some kind of conference call or something to where we can get further deeper into it, because obviously we couldn't do all of that tonight, but at least everybody got a chance to meet each other and each one teach one, pass it forward, and share ideas. So with that being said, before we get out of here, Punch, anybody got anything to say? Many Faces, Punch? Any other DJs that's on here checking out that's going to be helping me promote this record? Anybody out there coming October 1st with basically Myra's voice on there, because we're trying to promote her and uplift her, because everybody already know about Bootsy. You can't uplift him too much further than what he already is.
Amen. Amen.
Hey, any DJs before we get out of here tonight? I guess they DJing somewhere. Queen Karen, you want to send us out?
I want to thank everybody for coming in. It is all about, like James Brown said, the world would be nothing without a woman or a girl. So we in here representing, but also the guys that are here and the DJs, I want to say all the lanes we have to use and explore to enhance and be a part of. It's about networking, collaborating. And here today, we made some phenomenal connections and relationships that will continue. So I wish that everyone had put their information in the chat to be able to network. If not, we can follow up and do things. But I thank you so much, Patty, for taking your time to come in. Because
thank you so much for having me. And Myra, thank you.
A deep, deep situation that goes further than the eyes can see. It goes to your core and how you accept it and how you move on from it. But main thing to know, you're not alone.
Not alone. You're beautiful. You're powerful. We can make it together. So let's do it. Let's do it.
That's right. This is the start. This is the start of it all. So I want to thank everybody for coming in and staying and being a part of this. And also always thanking the superstar maker, Kermit Henderson, for making these things possible, opening the door. Like they say, open the door, I get it myself. Open the door, he gonna help you get it yourself.
Yes, I love it. You're James Brown all the way. Open up the door and let me get it myself.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, we also have a lot of other women that that I'm gonna get in touch with that couldn't make it tonight from Canada. And we have another young lady, Patty, I had texted you about the one young lady I told you that was working 3 jobs, struggling or whatever.
Yes,
you saw her on Instagram. So I'm gonna get a hold of all these people and we'll try and hook them up with Queen Karen and see how we can, at least you guys can hook up and move further on this thing. And I'm gonna definitely be one of the males heavily involved with it, because like I said, I grew up a mama's boy and I have mostly female friends, and I respect all the women's concerns. Like I say, Queen Karen and I have done these things with human trafficking, sex trafficking, and then with Angela, we also have done, women's rights in prison. So we definitely are into that. And so thanks everybody for coming, and everybody have a great good night. And don't forget on the Linktree, Linktree/ECMD2, the number 2, ECMD2. You also have Mixaholic Mondays every single Monday. You got Throwdown Thursday. And we love it here. And we'll see you 2 weeks from tonight.
And we got
Thanks
Pet
again,
Party
everybody.
on
Good
Sunday.
night.
We begin the week with Pet Party on Sunday. So y'all can
on that link tree at the top, you see about Pet Party. That's on Clubhouse. Queen Karen does a thing called Pet Party. You don't have to have a pet to come in and have fun. but it's every single Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Central, and 2:30 on the West Coast. Pet party on the Clubhouse app. So salute everybody. Thanks again and good night.
Again.
Peace.
Bye.
Soul Train.
Peace.
Bootsy Collins. I'd rather be with you.
All
Bootzilla.
right, man.
Anybody out there? Good night.
Anybody out there? Good night.